Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy again. This is Dill Talk Sports. We're back with another episode. Today, we are going with top 10 NFL head coaches. We'll break down why I think each is where they're positioned, and we'll go from there. So, without further ado, just immediately starting off the list, it's no really order for me. It's just kind of a top 10 list of who I think's in there. So, first of all, we're going to go with Andy Reid. I don't think that's a tough question. I don't think that's a tough, response. Andy Reid, three-time Super Bowl winner. Been a head coach for a long time, previously with the Philadelphia Eagles, now with the Chiefs, of course, coaching Patty. But his achievements speak for themselves. But a great offensive mind, one of the best offensive minds ever, kind of revolutionized the offense. Seems like a player's coach. All the players love him. Just a good dude and really humble. And next, I really like Kevin O'Connell. I think Kevin O'Connell's an amazing coach. Turned around the Minnesota Vikings. Won an NFC North championship. Coach of the year already, got hired in 2022, so already making an impact early on with them. Made Sam Darnold look like a top 5 quarterback in the league. Hopefully going to do the same with J.J. McCarthy. But just a really, really good coach coming from that Sean McVay system, which leads me to my next coach, which isn't even a question, which should have been, early up there, but this is going to be third coach, is Sean McVay. Hired in 2017, I don't know if he's still the youngest, but was the youngest coach at the time when he got hired, and has done nothing but win. He has a Super Bowl, he has 2 NFC championships, he has 4 NFC West championships. They should have beat the Eagles last year. His offensive system, his system in general is really, player friendly. A lot of dudes seem to rally around him, and they just always seem to be a good team. Whether they have all their players or everyone's hurt or not, they just always seem to figure it out and get it going. And that's, a tribute to Sean McVay and his talent as a coach and his ability to coach and go from there. And, I think the Rams are set for however long he's there for because, Stafford's going to retire. Yeah, it sucks. But Stetson Bennett's been showing me a lot, and he's got a great staff around him. And, yeah. Next, this one might be a hot take for some people, but Mike Vrabel. Not even a question. Now the coach in New England, was the coach of Tennessee. Tennessee was a perennial winner when Mike Vrabel was there. They might have not won the Super Bowl, but they were in an AFC championship game, consistently winning their division. Mike Vrabel also got screwed. They fired they traded away all his good players. I mean, A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry traded away. What do you think is going to happen, Coach? But he's always been a good coach, always been there, kind of more of a Belichick, more that stern, but also kind of that player's coach that, I was a player, I know what it's like. So, Vrabel, I'm really excited to see what he does in New England. I think he's going to be great for Drake May and for New England, coming from that system, under Belichick, everything there. So, got to love Mike Vrabel. Dayball, Aaron Glenn. Sirianni's got to be on the list. What is that, 5 now? Sirianni's on the list, no question. All he's done is, win again. Great coach, might be a hothead or can't be touched or can't be controlled or whatever you people want to say about him, but he's a great coach nonetheless, and solidified himself with that with the Super Bowl last year when they beat down the Chiefs. So, yeah. Let me make sure there's a couple coaches I'm not going to miss before I get... Okay, easy. So that was 5. So next is John Harbaugh. Been with Baltimore since 2008. Consistent winner, has that Super Bowl, always seems to be in the playoffs, always seems to be a good team and a team to be reckoned with. Gave Lamar the opportunity to show what Lamar is and what he can do and kind of just be Lamar, be free, be Lamar, run wild, do what he wants. So, I always have respect for Harbaugh because I think he's a great coach and a better man. So, I got to throw Sean McDermott in there as much as I have my gripes with him about, the Buffalo Bills head coach. He's been there since 2017, 5 AFC East championships, but, no AFC championship games, no Super Bowl appearances. Seems to always choke when he needs the most. I mean, he's supposed to be a defensive genius, and every time they lose games, it's because his defense lets them down. That's a defensive genius out there, letting his defense every time getting cooked by Patrick Mahomes. But I think he's a good coach nonetheless. Great culture builder, great, just a great stable man that knows kind of what to do and how to get the best out of the team and most out of the team. So hopefully it's this year to prevail. I can only hope because I'm getting tired of watching the Bills choke every year. It hurts me inside, truly. Okay, so that was 7. So 8. 8, I think, easy. I think Dan Quinn's up there. I think Dan Quinn's an amazing coach. Was an amazing coach. Was in the Super Bowl with the Falcons. If it wasn't for the worst choke ever. Might be Kyle Shanahan's fault. Might be his fault. But just look what he immediately did with the Commanders. They were in the NFC Championship last year. Jay Daniels looked like the truth as a quarterback. The team looked really, really good. And it's only up from here for, I think, Dan Quinn and them. So I'm really excited to see what happens with them and go from there. And then that was 8. So I think the last 2, unfortunately for me, oh, man, I'm going to slide him in there before I slide him in there. So I was going to put Kyle Shanahan in there, to tell you the truth, but I think I'm going to go with Pete Carroll. I think Pete Carroll's a better coach than Kyle Shanahan. Pete Carroll has a ring. Pete Carroll's been to 2 Super Bowls. I know Kyle Shanahan's been to 2 Super Bowls, but he's choked both, and they were on a downslope. But for consistency, he's always up there. But Pete Carroll, great coach. Been a winner everywhere he's been. Winner at USC, winner in the NFL. Hopefully he's going to win in LA, and we'll see from there. So last is a tough one. There's a lot that should be in this top 10 list. I'm going to go with Mike Tomlin. He's got the most tenure. He's been there the longest. He's proved the most that he's a winner. Consistently good. Consistently has the Steelers at the top. Consistently, people know what they're going to get from him. And, so that's my top 10 list of coaches in the NFL, just head coaches. Tomorrow, I'm thinking about doing coordinators. But you all let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. I think the list is really good. I watch a lot of football. There's a couple that could be, traded in and out, but love what I'm seeing. And, this was Dill Talk Sports. This was top 10 NFL head coaches. Excited for the regular season. Excited to do this every single day for y'all. And let's keep moving forward. It's only up from here. Dill Talk Sports. Build your dynasty. Deuces.